good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today we are going back behind my Spotify. This time around, we're going to be doing a review of Odyssey by Illenium. Now, the first thing I want to just put out there is that I think this is one of my, if I were to rate all of Illenium's albums, I'll just say this. I would put Illenium's self-titled album at number 1, and I'd put Ashes in last place. So, from all his albums, all of his albums, I think I rank them differently depending on, if I were, let's just rank all the Illenium albums just right now without jumping to the new album. Ashes at the bottom, right? I think, how many albums does he have in total now? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I'd put Ashes at number 6. I would put Odyssey at number 5. At number 4, I think I would put Awake. Or no, sorry, number 4. Number 4 would be Ascend. Number 3 would be Fallen Embers. Number 2 would be Awake, and then number 1 would be his self-titled album. And I don't know, it's weird, man, because with his self-titled album, which I did a review of, and I love the album a lot. I think it's his best work. I think it is his sound. When I look at his new album, Odyssey, and we're gonna get into it now. When I look at this album, there's a lot of cool features on here, right? But also I learned apparently he made this album specifically for the Las Vegas sphere or whatever. I find that a little weird because if you're making an album that's only dedicated to a venue or something in a state, then you're not making an album for everyone. At that point, you're making an album for yourself, right? I think my least favorite thing about this album was, I don't know, a lot of the singles leading up to this album I wasn't really into. The only single I think I was into was War with Low Spirit, because Low Spirit's an incredible. I'm literally wearing, dude, if you missed it, I'm wearing a Low Spirit hoodie. It's from his first single that he dropped. But that's the only single that drew me towards the album. I knew he was dropping music, I just didn't listen to any of it other than War. But if I'm being honest, a lot of this album feels like filler. And it's weird to say that, right? Because there's a lot of, I think In My Arms was I listened to that one, but after that I stopped listening until War came out. There's a lot of features on this album. And I feel like a unique trend with Illenium, if we're just going back through his stuff, he went from, I think, you look at Ashes, there's features on here, but I don't know, it feels like this, his previous work was not always about features. You look at Awake, not every single song in here has a feature on it, but I don't know. I feel like with this new album, Illenium was focused more on the features and less about the music, because none of the songs did anything for me. I look at all his previous work. Let's just go from Awake, because Ashes I don't really go to, but his music on Awake, there was a lot of songs on here I paid attention to with the music and the vocals. The vocals are a part of it, right? Ascend I wasn't really a huge fan of, but there was a lot of songs I did on here, you know? And Fallen Embers, again, it's kind of the same thing with Ascend and Fallen Embers. They weren't my favorite records, but I liked a lot of songs on them. You go to Illenium, his self-titled album, there was a huge split of focus between the vocalist who was featuring on the song and the songs themselves. You know, that's lovely. I don't know why that played. We'll just, cut that out. Anyway, the thing is, there was a 50-50 split of focus between the vocalist and the instrumental on Illenium, on the self-titled record. And you could tell because there was like a split focus. Like, look at the features on this, man. You got like Teddy Swims, Max, Skylar Grey, Jaden, Avril Lavigne, Travis Barker, Spirit Box, Grab It, American Teeth, Set the Sky Vera Blue, Jake, All Time Low, Motionless in White, Nina Nesbitt. I don't know. I think the reason why Illenium described this album as his best work and it's his sound is because it is. It's literally, it is his best work. Like, out of anything he's ever done, it is the perfect mix of his instrumentals with the feature, with the collaboration, you know? But the problem I have with Odyssey is, one, again, it was made for the Sphere, and it feels like it was just made for him and not for his fans. And then you look at, like, the features on here are crazy, right? You got Mako coming back. I think for 2 songs on here. It's not just one. Yep, for 2 songs. I'll Come Running Into the Dark. Mako was a huge... Mako, however you want to say it, was a huge surprise for me on this record because he's working on music with Riot Games. That's his primary, like... That's his thing. That's what he does now. Seeing him collaborating with Illenium again... Or again, I say collab... I think he's collaborated with them, Illenium before... But coming back to the proper EDM world is a crazy move. It makes you wonder if Mako's going to make more music, which would be really cool. But then in terms of like the crazy features, what you've got Ellie Goulding, Bring Me the Horizon, Low Spirit, Zed's Dead, Bastille and Dabin, and then I don't really know all the other features, but to me personally, when I was listening to this album while playing a game, there was more of a focus on the person that was the feature than the actual music itself. And that's why I don't like this album. Like, it's close to my least favorite album that Illenium's ever put out. And the whole reason I'm reviewing the album is just because we've talked about Illenium before, and he's one of my top 5 favorite EDM artists, so I don't know, for him to put out work like this that's strictly for a venue seems really weird. And I think this is going to be like, it's one of those albums that I think you just put on and it's kind of a vibe, I don't know, but like, it's not an album that I really liked, and I think it's because I like the self-titled so much, and going into this, I'm just like, I feel like there was no passion put into this album, because every single song in here, to me, for me personally, sounded the same. Like, it didn't matter who was featuring on it. The only thing I was paying attention to was like Mako, Low Spirit, and Bring Me, and mainly the main features I saw on here, you know? I didn't really like this album. There wasn't a single song besides War, In My Arms, that really stood out to me as being good songs, you know? And those were singles. Also, rhythm was spelled wrong here. I'm just going to point that out to everyone because everyone needs to know that that was spelled wrong. I don't think it was intentional, but who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like this album at all. And I wish I did, but like, I don't know. Nothing clicked with me with this album. I wish something did click, but yeah, nothing clicked in the slightest. If I had to give the album a rating, dude, I hate to be harsh, but it's gonna be a 5 out of 10. Like, nothing really spoke to me on this album. Nothing. I wish this album was better than... I wish it wasn't made for like a venue. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was like actually made for the fans and passionately made, you know? I feel like it was just made for... If all his music going forward now is just gonna be made for a venue, I think that's really stupid. But that's just my opinion, you know? Take it or leave it, but I think, like... I think the focus being on the Sphere was kind of the downfall of this album. And I think he needs to go back to the drawing board on like what kind of music he makes and not have it be, if it's not for a venue, I think it probably would have been a better record. But again, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I guess we'll see what happens when he comes out with music in another like couple of years or so. But anywho, thank you guys for watching, hanging out. I appreciate it a ton. I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, goodbye.